last week's episode of Deep Blue told the story of tonight's in-studio guest, Dawson Baker, who has battled back to full health and is making a huge impact for this year's squad. He's a unique playmaker and natural scorer who gives Coach Young instant offense off the bench and has helped BYU become one of the deepest teams in college basketball. Please help me welcome into Studio C, BYU junior guard, Dawson Baker.
You're in the hot seat.
Yep. All right. I'm not sure what you're able to see or not see back there. Did you see the deep blue on Yegor by chance?
I did, yeah.
Did you get to see yours last week?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think of that?
It was awesome. I think it's hard to encapsulate my whole life in just 7 or 8 minutes, but I think they did a wonderful job, and it was fun to see.
What was the neatest part of it, watching it?
Always looking back at my mission is always unique. I think that's something that a lot of people are very fascinated by. And for me, that was my mission. That's kind of all I known. And it was fun to see people's reaction, like, wow, you're really out there. And I was like, yeah. And so it was fun to see people's reaction to that.
I think, Coach Young, you said the same thing watching it, was that part jumped out to you last week.
I mean, the canoes carved out of the logs and whatnot, that definitely, that's not every day you see something like that. And not the language and the food, we talked about it. And I heard the guys asking quite a few questions, too, after it aired. So it was fun to kind of hear him and kind of talk more about it.
The mission was Micronesia, Guam, right? And the language, Chukis? That's how you say it?
Yep.
Okay. We're going to maybe get a little more into your mission service here in a bit. What did you think about BYU growing up?
Honestly, being a member of the church, obviously, we were kind of affiliated with BYU in that sense, but we never really came from a BYU family. I had older brothers that played basketball, and they didn't really get the attention from BYU basketball like we thought we probably deserved. And so we never were naturally BYU fans. And so it's kind of funny when I went to the transfer portal, and this was one of the schools I was looking at. I didn't honestly think I was going to come here, but as I went through my visit, met some of the guys, and felt the culture here and the fan base, it became very apparent. It was a very special place. And now my family's kind of joined the BYU family, and now they're big fans of BYU, obviously. But yeah.
Let's talk about the basketball playing brothers, because they did go on to play at a high level, right?
Yeah, so I had my oldest brother, he played at UC Irvine for a year, and then won his mission, and they didn't hold his offer. He ended up committing to Southern Utah University and played there for the rest of his 3 years. And then I had a brother that played at Weber State.
That was Dusty?
Dusty, yep.
Yep. And so they played there. You were, well, let's flash back to pre-college. I think we have some video of you playing. Maybe, is this AAU? This is the Dream Vision team?
This is, yeah.
Or how old are you here, do you think?
I got to be 15 or 16.
Good handle. Yeah.
Let's go.
In one of those chairs out there, you'll probably see Coach Rose.
Oh, yeah?
At one of those games, yeah.
You were number 5 then?
Yeah, I was number 2 in high school and number 5 in club.
Okay.
Because there was number 25.
I see a 24 there, too. Is that still you or not?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not any of those numbers now. How did you end up on the one you got now at BYU?
So 25 has always been a family number for us. My brothers were always that, and being a younger brother, I always idolized them and looked up to them, and so that was something I always wanted to be. And then when I got to UCI, that number was already taken, and I knew I had to have a number that was special to me, and UCI was my only offer, so I picked number 1 to remember, this is the only school that believed in me. And I remember that every time I put that on, that other schools that were playing didn't think much about me, and so it was good for the time being. And then when I got here, I knew 25 was available, and I was excited to put that on.
When did you first see or hear the name Dawson Baker, Coach?
I think I actually told him this the first time I ever talked to him. I remember when I was in the NBA, I kind of like you, through the church affiliation, you kind of, I anyway, would loosely follow BYU sports and, would always be curious about who they were signing. I saw this kid, Dawson Baker, transfer from, I saw his accolade. I looked this guy up. So I pulled up his highlight tape. I'm like, man, this kid's got some game. And lo and behold, a couple years later, I'm coaching him. And so that was my first, iteration of him. And he had a tough go the last few years with the injuries. And I wasn't sure what to expect when I got here, but he's exceeded all my expectations. He's been a huge part of what we've done so far.
As you battled back through the foot situation, were there ever times when you lost confidence of getting back to your old self?
A little bit, yeah. I think coming back from injury is hard enough. Coming back with the injury, with a coaching change, with a whole new staff, new teammates, you're kind of out of your element already. I never had an injury like that with that, but also with, usually there's guys around you that know you well and they can instill confidence in you. I kind of had to find that again. And so definitely you have moments where you're like, man, was it the foot, or was I just never good at basketball? And you kind of have to remind yourself, like, I've been doing this my whole life. And you have a couple good practices where you see the ball go through the net and you start to feel it again. And then it's just like riding a bike. It's like, oh yeah, I'm back. And
you're feeling great, obviously, this year, right?
Yeah, feeling great. I played every game this year, which has been really special for me, so yeah.
This year's team's different than the one you were with last year, obviously, for a lot of different reasons. How does it feel to be part of a group now that's cooking along pretty well?
Yeah, it's fun. I always talk about this group having a good mixture of older guys and younger guys, and the younger guys kind of bring out the immature parts of the older guys, and the older guys bring out the more mature sides of the younger guys, which is a good dynamic to have on a team. And we have a team just filled in every spot we look at with shooting, dribbling, passing, defenders, and so that's special to find in college. And we got a lot of guys that can play. We got a deep team, which makes it a lot of fun.
Super deep, super talented, but Coach Young, Dawson's abilities kind of feel you. Like, he's got his own specific skill set here that's different from anyone else on the team.
No, he does, and he's a lot of this, I think what I've learned is the best things that happen on a team are usually ones that happen organically, and we put the ball in his hands, and he just makes plays. And it wasn't like we never anointed that. It's just like that's what he's good at. We try to put him in those positions, and it's like basketball players are pretty smart. The ball finds guys that can make things happen, and he's earned the respect of his teammates because of that, earned the respect of the coaching staff because of that, and then he's answered the bell. He's a guy that's delivered in multiple instances early on. Like I said, in that secret scrimmage, that he was the guy that walked that game down for us, and it really hasn't looked back since.
If you're ever at a BYU practice, Dawson will drain a shot, and inevitably somebody at the scorer's table area is going to say, "Dawson Baker, shot maker," or something maker involved. You hear a lot of stuff, don't you, at practice?
Yeah, that actually came from Scott Van Pelt back at UCI when we had a game there, and I told Nate Austin that, and he lost it. That was the funniest thing. And so, yeah,
Nate likes to use it.
Yeah, he does. He likes to use that, and so it's kind of stuck, which is kind of funny.
Well,
Nate leads the Dawson Baker fan club.
He does, true. Well, I've also stolen it too, so I use it on the air as well. All right, stick with. No, before we go to break, let's do this. You're active on social media, relatively speaking, a little bit. Instagram. You've got some stuff in your past on the Instagram we're going to dive into really quickly to get quick comments from each other. No, these are all good. They're all from you. All right, let's go to this first clip here. We got two boys being boys here. What do we have here?
Yeah, that's my best friend, Jordan Tolner, lived down the street.
His name was Jordan?
Jordan, yeah.
Well, obviously.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah. And this must have been some just like Friday Jersey Jam school event. We just were, getting our best outfits on.
I like you repping Toronto. I appreciate that.
There you go.
All right, now I think we are going to mission service here for the second hit from social.
Here we go.
Yeah, so that right there was the group leader we had, so ran the church, and that was his house where we actually did sacrament. So everyone would sit on the floor right there, and there was one little bench where we would do the sacrament, and usually for the bread we would do ramen, like hard ramen we'd break up, or bananas. And then my first Sunday, we had 1 cup for water, so we all passed it around. Of course, the kid in front of me takes the water. He's got snot running down his nose. Back-watches it, hands it to me.
Super hygienic.
Just like, good thing this is blessed. He chugged on, but it was that was quite those were the best sacraments I've ever been involved in.
And I think you wrote in Chukis there as well. Yeah, I think you did some writing. This next one might be a pageant of some sort. You're doing some kind of acting here.
Wow, yeah, this is a church activity actually.
Are you in the white? You're in the white.
I'm the angel. Yeah, I think I'm the angel. I think we did some nativity scene at Mission Viejo High School. Yeah, that's a deep poll.
Thank you. And this is an even deeper poll because we're going back a few more years. And this is Dawson. This is that could be Disneyland. That could be working.
Yeah, that was Disneyland. My mom actually worked there when she was in high school. And
very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Just a little this is your life for you, Dawson Baker. Stick with us. We'll come back more with Dawson Baker. We're going to test his wits with our mini game show segment next as BYU Basketball with Kevin Young continues. Stick with us.